Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our first ever virtual Spring Athletics Award ceremony. Before we get started, please know that we are ever hopeful you and the ones you love are healthy, well, and staying safe. We miss you and love you and look forward to the day we are back together again. This event is the highlight of the year for the athletics department and one of my personal, totally unbiased favorites at W&L. It is heartbreaking that we cannot be together in person to share in the joy of all that you've accomplished this year. Your presence is what makes this event so uplifting and special. Yet I'm so thankful some really smart people were able to create a way to have this virtual celebration. We hope you enjoy it. During these past 2 months, I, like many others, have spent a lot of time thinking about you and us and the circumstances we're in. Daily thoughts about how you're doing and how this whole pandemic has affected you are typical. And I've come to some important realizations about who you are and what I know you to be through it all. Admittedly, when COVID-19 hit, it felt like things fell apart. Suddenly, our campus world just stopped and everything ended. The fantastic school year, our daily interactions and purpose, and the end of so many things we love and care about, such as our classes, study abroad, internships, our teams and seasons, being with friends every day. The list is long. It has been really bizarre and really hard and has created a lot of fear, grief, and pain for so many of us. The more I've thought about you, the more I've wondered, what do W&L student athletes do when things fall apart? What do you do when faced with serious adversity? When I ask myself those questions, I can't help but draw comparisons between the skills and processes needed to face the adversity of this crisis and the skills and processes needed to handle adversity in sport. I'm guessing that each of you has faced a moment or two when things fell apart in your athletic career, a setback that is sudden, painful, unfair, and surreal. A natural reaction to something of this magnitude is to sit still and not move. Maybe it'll go away, or maybe it's not true. And to feel grief, anger, and resentment. While this reaction or stage may go on for a long time, at some point, you realize it's not the end, and the skills to adjust and overcome kick in. You stop and assess, reflect on what happened, reevaluate your values and the fundamentals, then decide what to do next and set a plan for how to move forward. In short, when you do this, you begin again. You return to those automatic responses ingrained in you from years of training and rising above. You see, because of sports, you have what it takes to move on. I believe that you are well equipped to defeat the unusual adversity of this situation. And you know, it's curious because a lot of boomers think that young people your age don't have what it takes to handle when things fall apart. But I disagree. I've witnessed you responding to the worst with resilience and courage to setbacks large and small, whether it be in a practice, a competition, or in the other areas of your life. This health crisis is another moment when you will exhibit and personify your resiliency. I've heard many reports about the numerous ways you have been responding to the needs around you. You've been reaching out to others and showing support for numerous people in numerous situations. And because I've seen who you are and what you're like under pressure and in the throes of adversity, I have full confidence in the fact that you have already started to recover and begin again. If you hear me say nothing else this evening, hear this. You have what it takes, and you will come out of this improved and refined. And because you have what it takes, you have been an example of resiliency and strength to those around you. You've been an inspiration to each other and to those you love and care for, simply because you do have what it takes to move on. Based on that knowledge, and as I think about the future, here's what I'll say to anyone who asks me about what the future holds. Watch what's next. Or, as Timbuk 3 sang in their chart-topping hit of 1986, the future's so bright I gotta wear shades. Here's what I mean. Right now, we cannot go back to how things were before the virus hit. Like it or not, things fell apart, but you have what it takes to move on. So I am confident that you will use this opportunity to renew your motivations and to come out of this stronger than ever. When we are together again, I believe you will study with renewed interest and energy, train and practice with a deeper level of commitment and resolve, love and trust each other and those you care for more deeply and intentionally, and be humbled and be grateful for by what we've learned because of what we've been through. Because this is what sets generals apart. Resolve when things fall apart, strength and courage to do what it takes to move on, and the spirit and renewed conviction to say, watch what's next. My money is on you. I can't wait to see you again. And when I do, I'll be wearing these. Because the future's so bright, I gotta wear shades. So what made this year so outstanding? In just a few moments, you'll hear all the names and accolades from Jeremy Franklin and see the video version of the year in review. But first, I'll share some stats that highlight your awesomeness. 524 total student athletes, 44 multi-sport athletes, 25 women, 19 men, 413 scholar athletes, a new record. 33 student athletes achieved a 4.0 in fall term, 90 in winter term, and 20 achieved a 4.0 in both terms. What an extraordinary accomplishment. So let me tell you who those 20 people are. Courtney Berry, volleyball. Kira Borthwick, volleyball. Laura Bruce, women's swimming. Sean Clark, football. Jack Curtis, football. Nikki Doherty, women's track and field. Caroline Grace, field hockey. Meg Graham, women's swimming. Sarah Holland, women's cross country, track and field. Johnny Shue, men's lacrosse. Austin Hudson, men's lacrosse. Spencer Chris, men's lacrosse. Stefan Chris, men's lacrosse. Ned Mize, men's lacrosse. Chloe Rapier, women's soccer. Holden Robinson, men's cross country, track and field. Max Sadlowski, men's lacrosse. Claire Smith, women's cross country, track and field. Nick Spagnoletti, men's lacrosse. And Peyton Tysinger, field hockey. Amazing. Well done, everyone. You won 7 conference titles, 2 teams competed in NCAAs, 12 individuals competed in or qualified for NCAAs. You had 4 Conference Players of the Year, 7 ODAC Scholar Athletes of the Year, 5 Conference Rookies of the Year, and 23 All-Americans. Here's who those 23 All-Americans are. First Team All-American, Caitlin Anderson, women's lacrosse. Caroline Baber, women's swimming. Claudia Barnett, women's swimming. Turner Bobbitt, women's swimming. Sarah Gaston, women's swimming. Maddie Grant, women's swimming. Emily Hedgebeck, women's swimming. Ryan Luth, wrestling. Allie McQueen, women's swimming. Joe O'Connor, men's track and field. And Patrick Sullivan, men's swimming. Second Team All-American, Emily Roche, women's soccer. Third Team All-American, Shane Connors, wrestling. Oliver Dolberg, men's soccer. Rex Halliburton, wrestling. And Brian Pesey, men's golf. Honorable mention All-American, Courtney Berry, volleyball. Bryn Gould, volleyball. Elliot Gilbert, women's lacrosse. Jack Hodgson, men's lacrosse. Megan Canabay, women's golf. Jed Laundrie, men's lacrosse. And Danny Murray, women's lacrosse. Outstanding. Ultimately, all this exceptional talent turns into some pretty extraordinary win-loss numbers. Your conference win-loss record was 77, 20, and 2 for a 70.8 winning percentage. 78.8 winning percentage. Your overall win-loss record was 174, 61, and 5 for a 73.3 winning percentage. Women's overall winning percentage was 89, 30, and 2, or 74%, and men's overall winning percentage was 85, 31, and 3, 73%. And these are incomplete numbers due to the pandemic. Just imagine. Last and just important, we had 6 Conference Coaches of the Year. Brandon Spalding, men's cross country. Mike Dagger, women's cross country. Mike Singleton, men's soccer. Brandon Ewell, men's indoor track and field. Cammie Gardner, men's swimming. Cammie Gardner, women's swimming. I want to say a special thanks to all of our coaches for their tireless efforts, endless energy, and outstanding professionalism. They often shun the spotlight, but they deserve all the praise we can give them because they are the best around. And they love you and what you mean to them and to W&L. Thank you, coaches. Now it's my pleasure to turn the program over to Jeremy Franklin to give the year in review.
Hello. It's a great honor to be with you today. Even though circumstances prevent us from gathering in person, I know that as Generals, we're all here in spirit. I've had the great privilege to recap the highlights from many outstanding years in Washington and Lee athletics. 2019-20 was shaping up to be yet another banner year, from a regional championship in women's cross country and a Sweet 16 appearance for men's soccer in the fall, to a breakthrough conference title for wrestling in the winter, to an opening month of the women's lacrosse season this spring that featured 2 milestone wins and a top 5 ranking. All of a sudden, things changed. Our national qualifiers in swimming, wrestling, and track and field missed out on a potential career-defining opportunity. Our spring teams had promising seasons canceled almost overnight. We all understand the necessity of these decisions, but that doesn't make them any less painful. For those of you who had something taken away, I know the past 2 months have been filled with disappointment, with missing your teammates and coaches, the joys and struggles of training, practices, and competitions that all define your experience as a student athlete at Washington and Lee, with wondering about what might have been. That's understandable, and it's completely okay. But please know that, cliche though it may be, we are all in this together. For every one of you who missed out on something special, know that there's a professor who also missed out on the chance to cheer you on from the stands, an athletic communications staffer who missed out on looking up records and announcing landmark achievements, a friend who missed hearing about your accomplishments before the next class period started, and yes, a play-by-play announcer who missed calling your games and visiting with you on the Sports Weekly. Whether you're a senior whose time at W&L ended abruptly, or a first-year athlete whose career was just getting off the ground, you and your teams will not be defined by the lost opportunities of the past 2 months. Instead, they'll be defined by the amazing things that you had already achieved or that you will achieve in the years to come. And, most importantly, by the exceptional way that you always represent Washington and Lee University, my alma mater, and the institution that I'm immensely honored to represent as well. We're now excited to present a video with highlights from every varsity athletic team here at W&L. Special thanks as always to our tremendous athletic communications office, Brian Lobsher, Chip Whipple, and Will Wallace, along with all of their filmers, for shooting and editing the footage that you're about to watch. One final piece of business though, before we review the video, let's take another moment to honor our conference champions from the 2019-2020 academic year. Please join me in congratulating these championship teams: men's cross country, women's cross country, men's soccer, men's indoor track and field, men's swimming, women's swimming, and wrestling. Now, the year in review.
For the Washington and Lee Athletics Year in Review, I'm Jeremy Franklin. We start with a historic year for women's cross country. After a regular season that saw the Generals achieve their highest ever national ranking, W&L claimed its 5th straight ODAC title by dominating the conference meet in Salem. Sarah Stevenson was the individual winner, earning runner and rookie of the meet honors, while Julia Moody and Katie Harris finished 2nd and 3rd overall as the team secured a whopping 53-point margin of victory. W&L proceeded to win the South-Southeast Regional for the first time in program history. At the regional meet in Memphis, Stevenson finished in 2nd place, and she was joined on the all-region squad by Harris, Moody, Katie Barrup, and Avery Schiffman. By virtue of their regional crown, the Generals made their inaugural appearance at the NCAA Championship, placing 29th at the Division III meet in Louisville. Stevenson, Moody, Harris, Barrup, and Schiffman garnered all-conference honors alongside Dee Dee Pace and Nina Gallagher, and Mike Dager was named ODAC Coach of the Year. Men's cross country also claimed the ODAC title for the 5th consecutive season, holding off Lynchburg for an 8-point victory at Green Hill Park in Salem. Daniel Cope came in 2nd overall, joining Drew Woodfolk and Ethan Bernstein on the all-conference first team, while Freddie Marks, Austin Kinney, Connor Verrett, and Kyle Clark also received all ODAC laurels. The Generals then placed 3rd at the South-Southeast Regional, missing out on national qualification by just 1 spot. Based on their individual performances in Memphis, Cope, Woodfolk, Bernstein, Marks, and Kinney all earned all-region honors. Additionally, Brandon Spalding was tabbed ODAC Coach of the Year, and Verrett received the conference's Rookie of the Year award. Men's soccer won its 2nd straight ODAC title and advanced to the NCAA round of 16. In the conference championship at Hampton-Sydney, Harris Salem's 81st minute goal lifted the Generals to a 1-0 victory over Lynchburg. W&L then played host to the first 2 rounds of the Division III tournament at Watt Field. Oliver Dolberg scored late on as the Generals downed North Carolina Wesleyan 1-0 in the first round. The next day, W&L overcame a 2-0 first-half deficit to beat Gettysburg 3-2. In the sectional semifinals in Swarthmore, Pennsylvania, the Generals fell 2-1 in overtime to eventual national champion Tufts, completing the season with a 17-3-3 overall record. Mike Singleton was named ODAC Coach of the Year, while he and assistants John Freeman and Nemanja Sedic were selected by the United Soccer Coaches as the top staff for the South Atlantic region. Dolberg, Seth Chapman, Jack Rawlins, Michael Nick, and Samuel Bass all appeared on the All-ODAC first team, while Harry Pinkerton, Jack Parham, and Eric Recchi also earned all-conference recognition. Dolberg would go on to receive second-team All-Region honors, becoming the first four-time All-Region selection in program history, with Rawlins, Chapman, and Bass also recognized on the All-Region teams. Additionally, Dolberg was tabbed as a third-team All-American by D3Soccer.com. Women's soccer finished 16-2-2 overall and 8-1-1 in the ODAC, falling 1-0 to Virginia Wesleyan in the conference semifinals in Ashland. During the year, the Generals set a school record with 11 consecutive wins, and they remained unbeaten until the regular season finale at Bridgewater, a streak of 17 matches, as W&L climbed as high as number 15 in the D3Soccer.com national rankings. Emily Roche, Aaron Hay, and Lindsay White were all named first-team All-Conference, and they were joined on the All-ODAC squads by Kristen Castle, Emily Ledding, Grace Coombs, Brenna Winter, Lainey Smith, and Elle Prilliman. Roche and Hay garnered All-South Atlantic region recognition from the United Soccer Coaches, and Roche also received second-team All-America honors, becoming just the fifth All-American in program history. In field hockey, W&L went 10-8 overall and 6-2 in the ODAC. Competing against one of the toughest non-conference schedules in the nation, the Generals started out the year 2-5, but W&L rebounded to win 7 of its final 9 regular season games, earning the number 3 seed in the ODAC tournament. The Generals downed Bridgewater in the conference quarterfinals before suffering a 2-1 defeat to Shenandoah in the semifinal round at Lynchburg. Kaylee Fitzgerald was tabbed ODAC Rookie of the Year, and she was joined on the all-conference ledger by Lauren Pelano, Caroline Caruso, Grace Wise, and Tess Munesis. Meanwhile, goalkeeper Sarah Amel set single-season program records for goals against average and shutouts. Pelano finished her career second all-time in goals and fourth in total points, and she would go on to represent W&L at the Division III senior game in Manheim, Pennsylvania. Volleyball finished 24-10 overall, posting a 9-3 ODAC record to tie for third in the conference standings. W&L downed Bridgewater in the ODAC quarterfinals on the road before dropping a 3-1 decision at top seed Randolph-Macon in the semifinals. There were several postseason accolades for the Generals, highlighted by AVCA Honorable Mention All-America laurels for juniors Courtney Berry and Bryn Gould, who became the 11th and 12th All-Americans in W&L volleyball history. Berry and Gould also received first-team All-Conference and All-Region honors, while rookie libero Caroline Gard was an Honorable Mention All-Region selection. And the football team completed its 5th straight winning campaign, going 6-4 overall and 5-3 in the ODAC. The Generals endured a pair of heartbreaking losses in conference play, falling 48-42 on a Hail Mary against Emory and Henry and 36-35 on a last-second field goal at Randolph-Macon, but W&L bounced back to close out the year with wins over Southern Virginia and Shenandoah. Junior Josh Brees became the school's all-time leading rusher, finishing the year with 3,710 career yards and surpassing 2013 graduate Luke Heinsohn. Sean Clark, Will Corey, and Andrew Frailer were first-team All-ODAC picks, with all-conference honors also coming for Brees, Dean Johnson, Montgomery Owen, Alex Wirtz, Jack Pollard, Jared Cordova, Connor Corbett, and Bo Sheridan. Additionally, Clark received the ODAC Scholar Athlete of the Year award and was named second-team All-Region by D3Football.com. Moving on to the winter, which featured 4 conference championships, 11 All-Americans, and the winningest basketball season in recent memory. We begin with one of the best years in program history for the wrestling team. During the regular season, the Generals finished 16-5, establishing a new record for dual meet wins. W&L would go on to claim the Centennial Conference Championship, securing the school's first league title since 1979. Ryan Luth finished first in the 157-pound bracket, and he was one of 8 place winners at the Centennial meet. The Generals followed that up with a runner-up finish at the NCAA Southeast Regional, where Luth and 184-pounder Rex Halliburton won their weight classes, and Shane Connors notched a third-place finish at 165, with all 3 Generals qualifying for the National Division III meet. Luth was named a first-team All-American by the National Wrestling Coaches Association, while Connors and Halliburton both earned third-team honors. That trio joins Rich Redfoot from the class of 1989 as the only All-Americans in program history. Additionally, sophomore Joe Salerno set the single-season record for pins with 20, and junior Bryce Crew established a new career mark with 46. Connors, Crew, Halliburton, Luth, and Charlie Cunningham were all Centennial selections, and Crew was named the conference's Scholar Athlete of the Year. Women's swimming secured the ODAC title for the 13th straight year and the 30th time in program history. After finishing 8-1 in dual meets and placing first in 2 regular season invitationals, the Generals won 17 out of 18 events at the conference championship in Greensboro. W&L also made a clean sweep of the ODAC Awards. Emily Hedgeback earned top swimmer and scholar athlete honors for the 3rd consecutive season. Sarah Gaston was named Rookie of the Year, and Cami Gardner was selected as the league's top coach. Hedgeback, Gaston, Allie McQueen, Maddie Grant, Caroline Baber, Turner Bobbitt, and Claudia Barnett were all selected to compete at the NCAA Championship meet. All 7 of those Generals earned All-America honors, highlighted by 4 citations for Hedgeback, 3 for McQueen, and a pair for Barnett. Additionally, that group was joined on the all-conference teams by Laura Bruce, Jillian Cantrell, Lainey Van Linton, Caroline Florence, Ashley Johnston, Hannah Freebert, Erica Errett, Olivia Luzio, Bridget Bartley, Audrey Dietz, and Sally Innes. The men's swimming team also netted a conference title, maintaining its perfect record in the 6 years that the ODAC has sponsored the sport. Producing an 8-1 regular season mark, W&L went on to tally 11 event wins at the conference meet. Patrick Sullivan was responsible for 3 first-place finishes, earning his 2nd straight ODAC Swimmer of the Year award, while Cami Gardner received Coach of the Year honors on the men's side as well. Sullivan would qualify for the NCAA Championship for the 3rd straight season, and he received All-America laurels in both the 100 and 200 freestyle events. Sullivan also appeared on the All-Conference Honor Roll alongside Evan Kramer, Jared Nicodem, Michael Struck, Danny Lynch, Connor Van Voren, Steve Warren, Ben Brown, Fitz Rawls, Todd Eccles, Dawson Kramer, Landon Potter, Logan Robinson, Colin Whiting, and Matt Fricker. Men's basketball put together its first 20-win season in over 30 years, finishing 20-6 overall and setting a program standard for conference victories with the 12-4 ODAC record. Placing 3rd in the conference standings, the Generals dropped an 84-83 heartbreaker to 6th-seeded Lynchburg in the ODAC quarterfinals in Salem. William Brueggemann ranked 2nd in the conference in scoring on his way to first-team All-ODAC and D3Hoops.com third-team All-Region honors. Brueggemann and Kevin Denon both eclipsed the single-season mark for made three-pointers, each knocking down 70 triples to share a new W&L record, and Denon finished his career 4th all-time with 160 makes. Meanwhile, Curtis Mitchell received his 2nd straight ODAC Defensive Player of the Year award and was named 2nd-team All-Conference. The women's basketball team earned a share of the ODAC regular season title for the first time in program history, going 15-3 in conference play to tie Emory and Henry for first place. The Generals also established a school record winning streak by reeling off 10 straight victories to begin the calendar year. Seeded 2nd in the ODAC tournament, W&L suffered an 84-77 upset loss to 7th-seeded Guilford in the quarterfinals, capping the season with an 18-8 overall record. 4 Generals earned all-conference honors. Aaron Hughes grabbed a spot on the All-ODAC first team. Taylor Casey and Andy Smithy were tabbed second team, and Megan Horn landed on the third team. Casey set a new W&L record by shooting 86.8% from the free throw line for her career, and she also finished second all-time in made three-pointers and 7th in scoring. Women's track and field finished as the runner-up at the ODAC Indoor Championship, placing just 5.5 points behind Lynchburg at the conference meet in Salem. 5 Generals won individual titles: Alexa Castellana in the long jump, Annie Cunningham in the 800 meters, Nikki Doherty in the 200, Murphy Jones in the pole vault, and Avery Schiffman in the mile. Meanwhile, Sarah Stevenson received Rookie of the Meet honors after finishing 2nd in the mile and 3rd in the 3,000 meters. Additionally, Doherty tied her own school record with a 2nd place showing in the 60-meter hurdles, while Castellana was the runner-up in the high jump, and the 4x400 relay team of Doherty, Jones, Sarah Teagle, and Parker Longgood also came in 2nd. Stevenson, Doherty, Schiffman, Castellana, Cunningham, Jones, and Katie Harris all earned all-region recognition. The men's track and field team won the ODAC indoor title for the 4th straight season. Joe O'Connor led the way by winning the high jump, the 60-meter hurdles, and the pole vault, setting school records in the latter 2 events. Doug Draken added to the list of event wins by placing 1st in the 400 meters. The Generals produced 3 runner-up finishes: Donovan Fiore in the 400, Shep Sims in the pole vault, and Jay Roberts in the weight throw. Other All-ODAC honors came for Draken in the 200 meters, Daniel Kuntz in the high jump, Drew Woodfolk in the 3,000, and the 4x400 relay team of Draken, Alexander Keynes, Jimmy Johnson, and Miles Oliver. O'Connor, Sims, Draken, and Fiore all received all-region honors, while Brandon Yule was chosen as the Conference and Regional Coach of the Year. To cap off an impressive season, O'Connor qualified for the NCAA Indoor Championship and received All-America honors in the pole vault. By the middle of March, athletes from our swimming, wrestling, and men's track and field teams were getting set for nationals, and our spring season was well underway. However, the cancellation of all NCAA championship events prevented our winter athletes from finishing their impressive campaigns, and the suspension of spring sports brought a premature end to a promising season, including track and field, which never began its outdoor schedule. Here are some of the highlights from the all-too-brief spring. The women's lacrosse team got off to a 5-1 start that included signature wins over 2 top-5 opponents. The Generals recorded their first-ever road victory over Salisbury on March 1st, following that up just a week later by beating Gettysburg for the first time since 1993. With their only loss coming by a single goal to another top-10 foe in Franklin and Marshall, the Generals climbed up to number 4 in the IWLCA national poll. Elliot Gilbert, Caitlin Anderson, and Catherine Feria all earned National Player of the Week awards from the Coaches Association. Meanwhile, senior Danny Murray, who was leading the team in scoring, recorded her 100th career goal. At the conclusion of the shortened season, Anderson was tabbed a first-team All-American by Inside Lacrosse, while Gilbert and Murray both received honorable mention laurels. The future also looks bright for WNL, with first-years accounting for 48 points in just 6 games. Men's lacrosse put together a 3-4 record, with all 3 wins coming by double digits and all 4 losses suffered against nationally ranked opponents. Face-off man Jack Hodgson, who already owned the program records for wins, attempts, and percentage, would wind up 11th all-time in Division III history with 866 victories at the dot. Hodgson and fellow midfielder Jed Laundrie both received honorable mention All-America accolades from Inside Lacrosse. Additionally, senior classmate Hudson Hamill finished 7th on the WNL career list with 105 assists. As a group, the Generals' 14-man senior class produced a 44-21 overall record and made 2 NCAA tournament appearances. The class of 2020 claimed at least a share of the ODAC regular season title in each of their first 3 seasons and won the 2019 tournament crown. Women's golf only saw action in one spring event, placing 6th at Berry College's Savannah Invitational in early March. Back in the fall, the Generals recorded 3 separate 4th-place finishes, including at the NCAA Fall Preview Tournament in West Palm Beach, Florida, and at the Montgomery Country Club Intercollegiate, where first-year Megan Canopy notched a 3rd-place individual showing. Picked to repeat as ODAC champion, WNL climbed as high as 13th in the GolfStat Division III rankings. Canopy and junior Lori Jones were named First-Team All-Southeast Region, and Canopy was selected as an honorable mention All-American. Captain Griffin Foltz, a 3-time All-Conference selection, was the only senior on an underclassmen-heavy roster. Likewise, men's golf competed in just one tournament in the spring, also producing a 6th-place finish in Savannah. WNL's early season schedule was highlighted by a 5th-place performance at the NCAA Fall Preview at the PGA National Champions Course in Florida, and the Generals were ranked as high as 9th in the country in the fall. Senior Brian Pesce, who won the 2018 Division III Individual Championship, posted the lowest single-season and career scoring averages in program history, and he received First-Team All-South Region and Third-Team All-America accolades this spring. Pesce helms a gifted senior class that also includes fellow All-American Sean Paleo, as well as Boyd Pete and All-Region performer Robert Quinalty. That quartet was part of 3 NCAA championship appearances during their time at WNL, including the team's national runner-up showing in 2018. The riding team collected a pair of invitational wins, finishing first at Lynchburg Sweetbriar back in October and also taking the top spot at the WNL JMU event in Lexington in February. In the home competition, the Generals recorded 8 top 3 showings, including 3 event wins, and Lexi Paxton finished as reserve championship high point rider. Sophomore Sam Johnson, who totaled 6 high point rider or reserve high point tricolor honors throughout the year, qualified for regionals alongside first-year Jillian Rosenwasser. WNL had an impressive year in the classroom as well, with 13 riders receiving IHSA All-Academic laurels, including a first-team selection for senior Danny Powers and a second-team nod for classmate Charlotte Radcliffe. Baseball produced its best start in 4 years, winning its first 6 games and winding up with a 10-4 record. The Generals hurlers posted a .361 team ERA, including marks from Tom Kellogg, Carson McCoon, and Nate Cohen that were all well under 2. At the plate, sophomore Jackson Gazen batted .404 with 16 stolen bases, while first-year Zach Perkins and junior Jason Volpicelli combined for 30 RBI in just 14 games. Senior Ryan Munson garnered ODAC Scholar Athlete of the Year and COSIDA Academic All-District honors, and he finished his career among W&L's all-time leaders in at-bats, hits, walks, and runs batted in. With a challenging schedule slated for late March, women's tennis won all 8 of its spring matches, including a 5-0 record in ODAC play. Back in the fall, Taylor Garcia advanced to the quarterfinals of the ITA Southeast Regional Championships in Fredericksburg. Highlights of the spring included a 6-3 road win against Christopher Newport and a narrow 5-4 neutral site victory over 20th-ranked Washington University, which vaulted the Generals up to number 18 in the national poll. Playing mostly number 1 singles, rookie Marta Mikos finished the year ranked 7th in the Atlantic South region and 30th in the nation. Meanwhile, seniors Lily Horsley, Madison Hutchins, Anna Cranen, and Gabby Moore saw W&L go 65-22 during their time on campus, including a spotless 48-0 mark against ODAC opponents. And men's tennis produced a 5-4 record that included wins in both of its ODAC contests. All 4 of the Generals' losses came against tough opponents, including an early season matchup with Division I power Virginia. W&L's 6-3 road victory over Salisbury in late February marked the 300th career win for head coach David Detweiler, who has collected 18 conference titles in his 2 decades at the helm. In the Generals' final match against Wittenberg, Mitchell Thomas reached the 100-win mark for his career, and he would go on to claim his 2nd straight ODAC Scholar Athlete of the Year award. Fellow senior Harry Shepard finished the season ranked 34th in Division III in singles, while he and doubles partner John Rudden held the number 8 spot in the Atlantic South region rankings. For the Washington and Lee Athletics Year in Review, I'm Jeremy Franklin.
I will now turn things over to Neil Cunningham.
The PE Department awards the Richard Miller PE Scholarship annually to a student that displays excellence in his or her PE classes. Coaches nominate students from their courses, aiming to find students that are enthusiastic, positive, hardworking, and clearly display a passion and appreciation for their PE classes. Finally, something positive in 2020, an unprecedented 2 winners. First up, Jacob Flood, a junior from Arlington, Texas. Jacob is hardworking, well-respected by his peers, and fun to have in class. Always positive, always encouraging, and someone that gets the job done. Jacob took classes in wilderness leadership, team sports, badminton, soccer, and rock climbing. Our second winner is Lucas Flood. Yes, they're related. A junior from Arlington, Texas. Lucas is described as enthusiastic, fun to be around, always smiling, and he often arrived early to class to work on his game. He was an absolute pleasure to coach. Lucas took classes in badminton, team sports, soccer, and team handball. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's winners of the Richard Miller PE Scholarships are Jacob and Lucas Flood. Congratulations to 2 fine young men, Jacob and Lucas Flood. I will now turn the program over to Dean Dave Leonard, who will present the Lefty Newell Award.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to present the J.L. Lefty Newell Award. Established in 1984, the Lefty Newell Award is presented annually to a non-playing student who has served Washington and Lee teams as an outstanding volunteer and contributed to the success of those teams. Recent recipients of this prestigious award include Hunter Yates, class of 2018, and Buddy Hall, class of 2019. This year's recipient of the Lefty Newell Award was a 4-year member of the women's basketball program, serving as team manager. That may have been her title, but however, her contribution stretched well beyond the manager's traditional role. She began her first year in much the same manner as many team managers, helping run clocks and track statistics during practice, but over time her responsibilities expanded to match her enthusiasm and expertise. She began working with players on the court during practice, helping them get extra reps. Eventually, she would begin breaking down film and passing notes to the coaching staff about player performance. She understood the pulse of the team and often consulted the coaches about the state of the team, noting the atmosphere on the court and in the locker room. As a senior, she earned the Barry F. Machado Women's Basketball Award, which is presented to the player, in this case manager, who demonstrates dedication and commitment to the program. Head coach Christine Clancy said the following about the recipient. Whitley has committed herself wholeheartedly to the basketball program, her teammates, and the coaches for the past 4 years. And she has been an integral part of the team's success. She is the most unselfish, compassionate, and service-oriented student that I have ever met. Whenever I needed something done off the court, I knew I could count on Whitley. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's J.L. Lefty Newell Award winner is Whitley Drinkard. Congratulations, Whitley. I'll now turn the podium over to Professor Matt Tuckler, who will present the Chubb Yackel Award.
Ladies and gentlemen, and everybody in between, my name is Matt Tuckler, and I am in the Department of Chemistry and Biochemistry here at W&L. I also have the great good fortune to be W&L's faculty athletic representative to the NCAA. One of the biggest perks of my role as FAR is that I get to present the R.E. Chubb Yackel Service Award to an individual within the university community who has made outstanding and sustained contributions to the Department of Athletics and Physical Education. Since 1986, this award is presented annually to the likes of legendary facilities and equipment staffers Thomas Bain and Sheila Campbell. This year's recipient is more than familiar to those of us who have been around W&L athletics at some point in the last 3 decades. He has been a fixture of athletics since he began here in 1987 as a head baseball coach, a role in which he served until he retired. During his time as a head coach, he amassed program best 426 wins and received the ODAC Coach of the Year Award 4 times. A testament to his value to our community and dedication to coaching and his love of sports is, in addition to this, that during the off season of many of those years, he has served as an assistant football coach, including a stint as the offensive coordinator for 6 seasons. Since his retirement, our recipient continues to support the teams he knows best. On the baseball diamond, he regularly throws batting practice, scouts opposing teams, and meets with the current coaching staff to assist in any way that they want or need him to do. According to head coach Ted White, quote, "He is W&L baseball. His contributions to the athletic department, the student athletes, and myself are numerous. He has a gift for putting everyone at ease and embraces serving his fellow coaches and the student athletes with joy and humility. He makes the tough times easier and the good times better." During the fall, you can find him at Wilson Field, in coaches' meetings, working with slot backs, at practice, and moving up and down the sidelines on game day. Head coach Garrett LaRose said of him, "The most important contribution that coach makes to our program does not stem from his football knowledge or his coaching experience. He has an ability to keep everything in perspective and can take even the most stressful game situations and make it fun. This ability is something I have admired since I was a player and greatly value now as a peer." Ladies and gentlemen, this year's R.E. Chubb Yackel Award winner is Jeff Stickley. Congratulations, Jeff. I'll now turn the program back over to the Director of Athletics, Jan Hathorn.
I want to thank the Brookby family for their generous support of this award ceremony. 2 alumni athletes, Harry Brookby, class of '66, and his brother Bo, class of '72, along with their mother, Mrs. Harry Brookby, gave a generous gift to Washington and Lee Athletics as an expression of their love and appreciation for the university and to honor what W&L Athletics has meant to them and their family throughout their lives. Their gift helped sponsor this event. Thank you, Brookbys. Teamwork, pure and simple. That's what describes the great work of our colleagues who support us with what we need when we need it so we can be our best every day. These people do all the behind-the-scenes work of mowing, washing, cleaning, organizing, filing, and assisting in thousands of ways. They dislike public recognition and praise, but don't be fooled. They take great personal pride in their work because they take great pride in you and in W&L. A quick note, because of the sudden end of our school year, we were unable to secure photos of some of our newest colleagues. We appreciate your understanding. Administrative assistants, Wanda Scott and Carolyn Mayo. Certified athletics trainers, Josh Williamson, Matt Phillips, Katie Schenk, Marin Wood, and Brian Duclos. Director of Facilities, Dan Rowland. Equipment and Facilities Maintenance Crews, Outdoor Crew, Tommy Mays, Tim Hill, Mike Mayo, Matthew Nicely, Chris Wheeler, and John Roberts. Indoor Crew, Mike Pelka, Debbie Brown, Francis Haston, William Hicks, Garfield Garrison, and Carolyn McNeil. Strength and Conditioning and Fitness Center, Haley Yetter, Patty Colleton, Aaron Gibson, and Brandon Cohen. And last but certainly not least, our Athletics Communications Office. Director Brian Lobsher, Associate Director Chip Whipple, and Assistant Director Will Wallace. And a special note of thanks for our beloved colleague Jeremy Franklin, Director of Broadcasting and General Manager of WLUR, for his outstanding dedication and extraordinary work calling so many of our live broadcasts. To each and every one of you, thank you for another fantastic year. This year, 4 assistant coaches are leaving for new adventures, and it's only right we honor and thank them. We will miss these colleagues and friends, yet we know they will always be generals at heart. Paul Ellis. Paul will be leaving W&L to return to his home state of Michigan. Paul has served as assistant men and women's swim coach and coordinator of the natatorium for the past 2 years. Paul, thank you for all you've done for W&L and our student athletes. Anna Kate Toddy DiPaolo. Toddy, assistant coach of women's soccer, departed W&L in March to take a new position as a youth coach and trainer in her hometown of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. A belated note of thanks, Toddy, for the many ways you served us so well. Deshaun Fox. Deshaun, assistant football coach, will be leaving W&L to become a graduate student and a teaching assistant at Virginia Tech in Sociology and Africana Studies. His last day with us is June 1, and he will begin his duties at Virginia Tech in August. Thanks for everything you've given us and our student athletes, Deshaun. Eric Franklin. Eric, assistant football coach, has taken a position as a quarterbacks coach at University of Pennsylvania. He has already begun his duties while still being quarantined here in Lexington. Thank you for all you've done, Eric, for our student athletes in W&L. To all of you, thank you for everything you've done to make us better. Special friends will be departing W&L for different climes and fresh beginnings. We will miss these folks, and we want to express our gratitude for their service to bettering who we are and what we do. Camille Wilson. Camille has served as assistant to the athletic department and assistant natatorium coordinator as part of a 2-year internship through the NCAA Ethnic and Minority Grant Program. She will be leaving us to assume a coveted position as a master's student in the UNC Chapel Hill Sports Administration Program, one of the most unique and elite sports administration graduate programs in all of college athletics. June 1 will be her last day as a general, and August 13 her first day as a Tar Heel. Camille, it's hard to believe that your 2-year stint here is ending. You have been a trusted and reliable colleague and friend, full of energy, a can-do spirit, and a willingness to be an integral part of W&L in all shapes and forms. In short, you have become like family. Thank you for the innumerable ways you have impacted our campus and community and changed us for the better with your bright smile and positive outlook. Come back often and know that we love you and will miss you. Dan Rowland. Dan, who has served W&L for 19 years as Facilities and Equipment Manager and eventually Director of Facilities, will be retiring on June 30. Many of you may have had little or no occasion to meet or know Dan, yet he has played a role in almost every aspect of your experience. From the equipment you use to the facilities in which you compete, Dan has taken great pride in his work, the crews he supervises, and most importantly, in you and your safety and care. Dan, thank you for everything you have given to and done for W&L Athletics to make our facilities and the people who maintain them the best around. We wish you good health and lots of joy and laughter as you venture into this next phase of your life. We will miss you. Mark Connor. As many of you know, Professor Connor has been selected to be the next president at Skidmore College and will be completing his service to W&L on May 29. Mark has served W&L for nearly 24 years in a number of roles: Professor of English, Chair of the English Department, Associate Provost, and of course, Provost. He is co-founder of W&L's African American Studies program, now Africana Studies, created and directed the highly popular Spring Term Abroad in Ireland program, which I love to call the Guinness Tour, served as a director of Spring Term for 5 years, and served as co-director of the Advanced Research Cohort Program, an immersive summer program for incoming first-year students, which eventually evolved into the Advanced Immersion and Mentoring Program. I'll spare you the rest of the robust list of Mark's pedagogical and professional accomplishments because it's very long. Suffice it to say, he's more than qualified to lead Skidmore into the future. Most pertinent to us, though, is the fact that throughout the course of his career at W&L, Mark has been an enthusiastic supporter of athletics and our student athletes. He is a self-described active person who holds a 4th degree black belt in American Freestyle Karate, a 2nd degree black belt in Shotokan Karate, and is a regular at the W&L Pool and Fitness Center. Among the many ways he has assisted the Physical Education and Athletics Department, 2 key enterprises stand out: the authorization to conduct a departmental external review and the collaboration between the admissions department and athletics to improve, promote, and advance our work in support of the university's diversity initiatives. Mark, I have tried to use every multisyllabic word I can during this entire awards ceremony as a way of honoring your English vocabulary skills. I have come to understand that one of your abiding loves is playing hoops in the driveway with your sons. You also love a good joke and a well-placed pun. So in that spirit, I want to thank you for the times you screened my ideas, proposals, and initiatives. Sometimes you blocked them, sometimes you passed them on to the appropriate people, and sometimes you guarded them with tenacity. The ways you deftly dribbled around some of the delicate and difficult issues we faced, and the full court press you employed whenever things were of utmost importance. In all, I would say the success of our collaborations has been a slam dunk. And as you pivot into your next role, I pray you take countless positive memories of our fantastic student athletes and your outstanding colleagues in PE and athletics with you. Seriously though, I sincerely thank you for your indefatigable spirit, your willingness to get to know the myriad functions of our very complex department, your wholehearted belief in the value of a PE requirement, the import of the integration of athletics into higher education, and most of all, your support and friendship. It will be quite a different place without you here, and I hope you know you will be missed. Congratulations, Mark. And now I turn the podium over to Brian Snyder, Assistant Director of Athletics, to present the Wink Glasgow Award.
Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us to celebrate Generals Athletics. Tonight it is my pleasure to present the Wink Glasgow Spirit and Sportsmanship Award. Established in 1959, the Wink Glasgow Award is presented annually to the W&L senior who has demonstrated the highest qualities of true W&L spirit and sportsmanship. It is the embodiment of what it means to be a general. Recent recipients of this prestigious award include Walker Brand, class of 2018, and Ethan Hartman, class of 2019. And now we present the video announcing the 2020 recipient of the Wink Glasgow Spirit and Sportsmanship Award.
This year's recipient of the Wink Glasgow Spirit and Sportsmanship Award is a native of Hoover, Alabama, and a 6-time letter winner, having earned 4 letters as a member of the football team and 2 more in track and field. For the track and field team, he was a 2-time All-ODAC honoree. This winter, he was part of the third-place finishing 4x400 relay and the fourth-place finishing distance medley relay team as the Generals claimed their fourth consecutive ODAC Indoor Championship. On the gridiron, he played in 37 career games as a running back, helping lead the Generals to the 2017 ODAC crown. Over his 4 seasons, he rushed 64 times for 427 yards and 4 touchdowns, and he caught 10 passes for 176 yards and another score. A versatile athlete, he also posted 13 tackles on special teams and ran back 5 kickoffs for an average of 20.4 yards per return. Off the field, he's a fixture on campus and a friend to everyone he's met. The journalism major's personality embodies what it means to be a general, whether it be lifting the spirits of a fellow student or cheering his classmates on to victory. He's also been known to don the school's Trident mascot to help rile the crowd at W&L athletic events, and he spent numerous hours assisting the athletics department through his campus work-study job. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's Wink Glasgow Spirit and Sportsmanship Award recipient is senior football player and track and field athlete Jimmy Johnson.
I've gotten to know Jimmy over the past 4 years, and he has always had a smile on his face and a positive word for everyone. I believe he truly embodies what this award is all about. On behalf of everyone in the Department of Athletics, congratulations, Jimmy. I'll now turn the program over to Dean Lena Hill, who will present the Outstanding First Year Athlete Awards.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to present the Outstanding First Year Athlete Awards. Established in 1960, the Outstanding First Year Athlete Awards are presented annually to a male and female showing the most athletic ability through his or her participation in varsity sports. Attitude, spirit, and sportsmanship are emphasized in selecting the recipient. Recent male recipients include Josh Brees, class of 2021, and Joe O'Connor, class of 2022. Recent female recipients include Valerie Marshall, class of 2021, and Catherine Faria, class of 2022. And now we present the video announcing the 2020 male recipient of the Outstanding First Year Athlete Award.
This year's male recipient of the Outstanding First Year Athlete Award is a native of Charlotte, North Carolina, and is a member of the men's soccer team. He played a major role in W&L's success from the very first game of his rookie campaign. He started all 23 matches and helped lead the Generals to an ODAC title and a number 11 ranking in the final United Soccer Coaches Division III poll, as well as a trip to the Sweet 16 in the NCAA tournament. He finished his first season with 6 goals and 6 assists, tying for first on the team with 18 total points. He notched at least 1 point in 8 games, and he posted 5 multi-point performances, including a season-best 2 goals and 5 points in a win over Emory and Henry. Additionally, he scored a pair of game-winning goals and assisted on 3 other decisive markers. On the defensive end, he helped W&L produce 12 shutouts and ranked 23rd nationally with a .71 goals against average. Given his stellar play, awards soon followed, and he was named First Team All-ODAC, Vasid First Team All-State, and Second Team All-South Region for a general squad that finished the year with a 17-3-3 overall record. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's Outstanding First Year Male Athlete Award recipient is soccer player Samuel Bass.
Congratulations, Samuel, on your significant accomplishments during your rookie season on the men's soccer team. And now we present the video announcing the 2020 female recipient of the Outstanding First Year Athlete Award.
This year's female recipient of the Outstanding First Year Athlete Award is a native of Bryn Mawr, Pennsylvania, and is a member of the lacrosse team. Although her rookie campaign consisted of just 6 games due to the shortened spring season, her impact on the program was undeniable. She was a starter on attack from the first game of the year, and she made an immediate impression, leading the team with 5 points in a season-opening win over 12th-ranked Mary Washington. She finished with 3 goals and 2 assists, helping the Generals to a 17-10 victory over the Eagles. She followed that performance with 3 goals and a 9-8 loss to 7th-ranked Franklin and Marshall, and she recorded at least 1 point in all 6 games, including 3 goals and 1 assist apiece in signature wins over 4th-ranked Salisbury and number 3 Gettysburg. For the season, she ranked 2nd on the team in scoring with 21 points, and she finished 3rd with 14 goals. She also added 7 ground balls and 1 caused turnover for a W&L team that ended the year with a 5-1 overall record and a number 4 national ranking in Division III. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's Outstanding First-Year Female Athlete Award recipient is lacrosse player Allie Schwab.
Congratulations, Allie, for all you accomplished in a short period of time with the women's lacrosse team this spring. I'll now turn the program over to Provost Mark Connor, who will present the William McHenry Scholar Athlete Awards.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to present the William D. McHenry Scholar Athlete Awards. Established in 1986, the McHenry Scholar Athlete Awards are presented annually to a male and female student athlete who has excelled in both the classroom and the field of play. The awardees must have a cumulative grade point average of at least 3.5 and must have made outstanding contributions to intercollegiate athletics at W&L. Recent female recipients include Emily Perzik, class of 2018, and Cordelia Peters, class of 2019. Recent male recipients include Gillen Beck, class of 2018, and Hank Patrick, class of 2019. And now we present the video announcing the 2020 female recipient of the William D. McHenry Scholar Athlete Award.
This year's female recipient of the William McHenry Scholar Athlete Award is a native of Charleston, West Virginia, and is a 4-year letter winner for the swimming team. In the pool, she is one of the most accomplished athletes in the program's history, having earned 14 total All-America citations. She holds school records in the 100 breaststroke, the 200 breaststroke, and the 400 individual medley, while also competing as a member of the record-setting 200 and 400 medley relay teams. All of these records also stand as conference best marks. She was simply dominant in the breaststroke events, going undefeated in the 200 and dual meets across her 4 seasons. In conference championship action, she won 9 individual ODAC titles and competed on 9 more ODAC championship relay teams. She earned first-team all-conference laurels all 4 years and was selected as the ODAC Swimmer of the Year each of her final 3 seasons. Her amazing feats extended to the national level as well, as she qualified to swim at the NCAA championship in each of her 4 seasons. As a first year, she earned 3 All-America citations, finishing in the top 8 at the Division III National Championship in the 200 breaststroke and the 200 and 400 medley relays. Her contributions helped the Generals to a 7th-place team finish, the highest ever by a men's or women's swimming team at W&L. As a sophomore, she earned 3 more All-America accolades, placing 7th in the 200 breaststroke, 15th in the 100 breaststroke, and 16th with the 200 medley relay, helping W&L to tie for 21st at the NCAA championship. Her junior campaign culminated in a 10th place team finish at Nationals, and she garnered 4 more All-America awards, placing 5th in the 200 breaststroke and 10th in the 100 breaststroke, 7th with the 200 medley relay, and 8th with the 400 medley relay. This winter, she was set to have another amazing run at Nationals before the championship was canceled due to COVID-19. She established the school record in the 100 breaststroke with a time of 1:03.24, joining her prior best marks of 2:15.80 in the 200 breaststroke and 4:26.13 in the 400 IM. After the season, the College Swimming Coaches Association of America awarded her 4 more All-America citations, coming in the 100 breaststroke, the 200 breaststroke, the 400 IM, and the 400 medley relay. Not surprisingly, she also excelled in the classroom throughout her W&L career, twice landing on the President's List. She earned CSCAA Scholar All-America honors 3 times, in addition to being named the ODAC Women's Swimming Scholar Athlete of the Year following each of her final 3 seasons. Additionally, she garnered COSIDA Third-Team Academic All-America honors in 2019. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's William McHenry Female Scholar Athlete Award recipient is senior swimmer Emily Hedgeback.
Congratulations, Emily, on your extraordinary athletics career at Washington and Lee. And now we present the video announcing the 2020 male recipient of the William D. McHenry Scholar Athlete Award.
This year's male recipient of the William McHenry Scholar Athlete Award is a native of Norfolk, Virginia, and is a 4-year letter winner and 2-year captain for the golf team. The Economics and Mathematics double major is a 2-time Cleveland Golf Srixon All-America Scholar. He received the ODAC Scholar Athlete of the Year award for his sport each of the last 2 seasons, and he was a COSIDA First-Team Academic All-American following his junior year. On the links, it's hard to imagine a better playing career than the one he enjoyed while representing the Generals. He set a new program record with a 73.23 career scoring average across 73 rounds, and he owns the top 3 season scoring averages in WNL history, including a program best 72.18 average during this year's shortened season. 3 times he earned first-team All-ODAC laurels, and he was the 2018 ODAC Player of the Year. He has twice received the Virginia College Division Player of the Year award, and he is the only golfer in program history to earn first-team All-Region accolades all 4 years. He won 4 tournaments throughout his collegiate career, highlighted by claiming the 2018 NCAA Division III championship in a playoff. That season, he also led the Generals to a program-best runner-up finish in the team competition. A 2-time first-team All-American and a third-team All-American in his shortened senior campaign, he received the 2018 Arnold Palmer Award as the national champion, and he was a finalist for the 2019 Jack Nicklaus Award, which honors the National Player of the Year. Off the course, he is a 3-time member of the President's List, and he has been inducted into Omicron Delta Kappa, Phi Mu Epsilon, Omicron Delta Epsilon, and Phi Eta Sigma. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's William McHenry Male Scholar Athlete Award recipient is senior golfer Brian P.C.
Congratulations, Brian, on your significant accomplishments during your athletics career at Washington and Lee. I'll now turn the program over to President Will Dudley, who will present the Press Brown Most Valuable Senior Athlete Awards.
It's my pleasure to present the Preston R. Brown Most Valuable Athlete Awards. Established in 1954, the Pres Brown Awards are presented annually to the most valuable senior male athlete and senior female athlete. They're awarded to the athletes who excel in sportsmanship and contribute the most to athletics based on their overall performance during their college careers. Recent male recipients include Tommy Thetford, class of 2018, and A.J. Witherell, class of 2019. Recent female recipients include Emily Perzik, class of 2018, and Haley Tucker, class of 2019. And now we present the video announcing the 2020 male recipient of the Pres Brown Award.
This year's male recipient of the Press Brown Most Valuable Athlete Award is one of just 5 generals in school history to be presented with both the Most Valuable Senior Athlete and Scholar Athlete awards. As you heard just moments ago, this athlete is among the greatest golfers in Washington and Lee history. In addition to setting program records for season and career scoring average, he also has 2 of the 5 lowest single rounds in program history, the lowest 72-hole score, and the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th lowest 54-hole scores for a WNL men's golfer. Across 73 career rounds played, he carded 31 rounds of par or better and shot worse than 80 just twice, with both of those rounds occurring during his rookie campaign. He won his first tournament during his initial season with the Generals, claiming the Callaway Gardens Invitational. He would go on to place a team-best 42nd overall at the 2017 NCAA Championship, guiding WNL to a 14th place team finish. As a sophomore, he won the Division III Individual Championship and helped lead WNL to a 2nd place finish in the team standings. He shot 3 of the 4 championship rounds under par en route to earning the Arnold Palmer Award and the #1 spot in the GolfStat Division III player rankings. His junior campaign produced 6 top 10 tournament finishes, including wins at the NCAA Championship Preview, as well as the Invitational at Savannah Harbor, which featured a Division I heavy field of golfers. He was named a finalist for the Jack Nicklaus National Player of the Year Award, and he went on to place 28th overall at the NCAA Championship. This year, he recorded the lowest scoring average in program history, just 72.18 strokes per round. In his final collegiate tournament, he fired a 7-under score of 209, the 2nd lowest in program history, as he placed in a tie for 5th at the Savannah Invitational. He is a 3-time All-American, 3-time All-ODAC selection, and 4-time All-Region honoree. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's recipient of the Press Brown Most Valuable Male Athlete Award is senior golfer Brian P.C.
Congratulations, Brian, on all that you have accomplished during your athletics career at Washington and Lee. I have been personally humbled by Brian on the golf course several times, which has been a pleasure and an honor for me. And now we present the video announcing the 2020 female recipient of the Pres Brown Award.
This year's female recipient of the Press Brown Most Valuable Athlete Award is a native of Manhasset, New York, and a member of the lacrosse team. She is a 4-year starter for the defense, and she served as a team captain during her senior season. A 2-time first-team All-America honoree, she started in 60 of her 61 appearances in a Washington and Lee uniform. She totaled 124 ground balls and 63 caused turnovers, and her 146 career draw controls ranked 6th in program history. Her impact on the team was immediate as she started all 21 games as a first year, collecting 25 ground balls and 8 draw controls and causing 7 turnovers on her way to earning second-team All-ODAC honors. She played a major role for the defense, which ranked second in Division III in goals against average and helped carry the Generals all the way to the semifinals of the NCAA tournament. As a sophomore, she again earned second-team All-Conference laurels, and she also garnered ODAC All-Tournament team accolades as she helped lead the Generals to another conference title. She ranked second on the team with 37 ground balls. She also won 32 draw controls and caused 15 turnovers. The psychology major took her game to a new level as a junior when she was named First-Team All-ODAC, First-Team All-Region, First-Team All-State, and an IWLCA First-Team All-American. The ODAC Defensive Player of the Year, she led the Generals to an 18-3 record. She was the team leader with 23 caused turnovers and 38 ground balls, and she finished third on the squad with 72 draw controls. This spring, she was off to the best start of her W&L career, totaling 18 caused turnovers and 34 draw controls in just 6 games, as the Generals jumped out to a 5-1 start with 3 wins against nationally ranked opponents. She was named the National Defensive Player of the Week after helping lead W&L to a 12-9 win over third-ranked Gettysburg in the final game of the shortened season. She was once again selected as a first-team All-American, receiving those honors from Inside Lacrosse. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's Press Brown Most Valuable Female Athlete Award recipient is senior lacrosse player Caitlin Anderson.
Congratulations, Caitlin, for the numerous accolades you have earned during your athletics career at Washington and Lee. I've enjoyed watching the success of you and your teammates, and I know you were primed to make a deep run at the NCAA tournament this year. I'll now turn things back over to our Director of Athletics, Jan Hathorn.
That completes our program. Thank you for tuning into tonight's ceremony from wherever you are. Please continue to do all you can to take care of yourselves and those you love. Be safe and be smart, and we hope to see you very soon. And remember, we are proud of you. Go Generals.